shooting stars over this old park. Burnt marshmallow on a crooked stick. You drop a comment, I'll read it quick. Switchback, sweat, and summit haze. Drone shots catching all those rays. Feels like we're together, y'all, out here on Woodall Trails. Like and subscribe to Woodall Trails. Hit that bell so you don't miss the tales. From a mountaintop view to the late night flame, for chasing that wild by calling your name. So like and subscribe to Woodall Trails.
I reloaded it, guys. Can everyone hear me? Good to go, guys? Good? Had to reload it there, guys, so we got it. Sounds like we got it going now. I'm going to minimize this out. Happy Thursday, adventurers. Welcome back. Episode 34, Adventure Closet Talk. Want to apologize to everybody for being sick last week, and I hope everyone enjoyed the premiere of the trip that my wife and I took to Garden of the Gods. If you didn't see it, it's a really good video. Well, I'm kind of biased, but really fun video. We had a fun time. We hadn't been out in a while together, and this one there was some mishaps, but you know what? Each time gets better, and each time it's getting more enjoyable for her. Anyways, guys, without further ado, we're going to bring on our guest this week. She is someone that I have met a few times now. She is a fellow adventurer, fellow hammock camper, and probably the only person I know that gets out more than me. So we're going to bring her on, and we're going to get her on here, Miss Ramblin' Bree.
Howdy.
How you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. It's storming, so hopefully we don't have Wi-Fi issues.
It was raining here earlier. Thankfully, it stopped.
I
So,
got both my dogs right underneath me because they're terrified of weather, so hopefully they don't get up in my lap before it's over with.
it'd be okay if they do. We don't mind that on here. Anyways, you want to just tell everybody, who you are, kind of like what you do, and where they can find you at.
I'm Brianna Castleberry. I go by Brianna Ramblin' on Trail on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok right now. I'm trying to get on YouTube, but I'm a terrible procrastinator, so the channel's up, but there are no videos yet. And I used to be an 8th grade English teacher, and after COVID, just realized that it wasn't working out. And I did 22 hikes in 2022 challenge, and it was literally just trying to do 22 hikes. And I classified as a hike as anything over a mile that wasn't on pavement. So, and it was still a struggle to get it done that year. I mean, I remember in December, I went and did 3 trails in one day, to finish it up. But after that, it just sort of kicked off that that's all I wanted to be doing. And then I found the AT, and I found hammocking, and so just trying to adventure as much as possible, homeschooling our now 9-year-old, and the husband's working in the plants. So we go when he's off, and we have to squeeze everything we want to do into a small amount of time. So I figured out how to plan adventures pretty efficiently at this point.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I want to know what got you into the outdoors. Like, I mean, you said after COVID. I mean, was you always into the outdoors before that? I mean, I know you're down there in Louisiana, so I know you got to be somewhat into the outdoors.
Yeah, I mean, so I didn't know backpacking was a thing till I was in my mid-20s, but I've definitely been outside my whole life. I mean, I grew up in the country in Southeast Louisiana. We raised cows. We had a garden. We had over 40 acres of land. Lived on the river. So I've been, outside all the time. I grew up riding dirt bikes, and we camped in a tent to trail ride and stuff like that. So we weren't really big into hiking or primitive camping like I do now. But I've pretty much been outside always.
Yeah.
But after COVID is when I really got into hiking and backpacking and found hammocking.
I never, kind of like you, I'm a late bloomer into the primitive and backpacking and I haven't got into the trail running thing. I don't quite like you have yet, but it's definitely
I'm
piquing.
I'm a baby trail runner.
It's definitely piquing my interest, especially now that my oldest, I think she's going to get into cross country, and I think that right there, and she's already out there with me half the time, anyways, getting it in. So
I'm jealous. I wish Adeline, she's difficult to get her to be willing to get out there. Once she's out there, she has a good time, but she'll tell you, I give her compliments how good she does when she does go. She said, well, I know I'm good at it and I like it, but it's just not my favorite thing.
That's probably my oldest. She probably just, tells me what I want to hear.
Yes, yeah, they're good at that.
Yeah, but I mean, she gets out there and does it. Her, but my wife, both. I mean, they get out. They must love me a lot to get out there and do it. Because, especially my wife, it seems like every trip there's something that happens, and I'm like, seems like something's got to happen just to like. I'm like, Lord, I'm just glad you go with me still.
Yeah, that happens with my husband Christopher too. Every time we go, I'm like, you're better than I am because I always blame him. I'm like, well, when I'm by myself, I don't have these problems. But it never fails when I got two hammocks to hang. Something's gonna go wrong with the second one. When I'm by myself, I'm always good. I can have the worst spot and make it work. But if I got two to hang, something's going wrong.
See, I'm not issues. Mine's not issues like on the camp. It's issues when we get on the trail. I have a tendency to get to hiking, and I don't realize that my speed is not their speed, and I feel like I do slow down a lot, but just kind of get lost into it.
Oh yeah, we definitely have those issues as well. But I have only brought each of them backpacking one time separately. So we do day hikes together, we boondock together, but we don't really backpack too much together quite yet. It is something we want to do more after I recover from the surgeries, though.
Mr. Corey says, "Hey, it's Brianna."
Hey Corey, it's Mr. Can't get me off his wait list. I'm telling you, I've been on that thing since August.
I mean, he's a busy man. He's got to fight them fires too.
I know, yeah, there's that. I guess he's got an excuse.
We had Mr. Joe. He asked what hammock you rocking, Bree.
Mountain Made gear. So before my surgeries, I have been using the OG Trekker Light that was coming in at 13.5 ounces for the whole kit caboodle. But after my surgeries, I'm going to have a new Monolite that's coming in at 10.3. And so I'm quite excited about that one. And those are cool. And that's also Mountain Made gear. So yeah, that's going to be the Trekker Ultralight. That's his newest one.
Don't know if that'll hold my weight limit there.
Oh, I bet it will.
I'm probably right there at the top of it.
Don't have any pressure points. It's all about being gentle.
I guess. Yeah. So for y'all wondering what Mountain Made that is, is he Alabama?
Yep.
It's Mr. Matt Lauder out of Alabama. Makes some really nice ultralight gear. I'm into more of the he's into the knots and y'all are into the cinch buckles and everything. I'm like,
minimalist.
Yeah, minimalist. There you go. Yeah, that's not me.
Hardware, there's nothing to fail.
I guess.
You just gotta have, the confidence in yourself to tie one knot. That's it.
I remember I had whoopee slings, and I did not like it one bit.
I did not like my whoopee slings I had either. I really did not. I had the they're out of business now. I forget what that company was. Humminbird hammocks. I had their whoopee slings, and they were super, super light. But I think they were still like 2 ounces, and now I'm at 51 grams for the pair, so under that, and I don't have to worry about anything failing, and the length is more customizable because the whoopee sling, when you get fully condensed up, you can't go any shorter than that. So, and sometimes I'm really short, and sometimes I really be rigging up and testing the how far apart your trees need to be. So sometimes I need to have almost no tree strap going on.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult hanging one for me and then one for my wife because she's like, well, you met her. She's kind of like you. She's not very tall. So, but I've gotten a lot better setting hers up. But just got her a
It's
new setup
easier for
ordered. So
shorties.
yeah, it's harder for. I gotta tell her. I'm like, get back here and make sure this isn't too high for you because if I set it up
That
for
part of
me,
it, yeah.
I'm like. Because if I set it up for me, I like mine, and I also like mine a little bit higher, anyways. Because I like to be able to sit in it and be able to take my shoes off and everything else.
Yeah. I just meant it's easier to get a flat lay because we don't need as much
Oh,
give
I
and
know. I
space to
told her I
make
was
it
like,
happen.
I was like, you got to lay diagonal. She's like, okay, and then she's like barely, and she's
Yeah,
flat as
she
can
can
be. I was
probably
like,
get away with almost straight. Yeah.
yep,
We
here
were
I
actually
am,
watching you
and
watching
I'm
a
like
video
completely
earlier.
40, like a complete 45-degree angle. I'm like straight like that. I'm getting as far as I can.
Yeah, we were watching those videos earlier, and even Christopher said, and, I'm short, so he's used to having a short wife, but even he was like, that lady's super small.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife and then my youngest, my youngest, I don't think she's gonna make 5 foot. She's gonna be super tiny. I told her I'll be able to get her a kid size hammock and she'll be able to stay in it and she'll an 9 foot hammock is all she'll need.
Adeline's the opposite. She's gonna pass me up any day.
Yeah, that's my oldest. My oldest, I think, is already 2, maybe 3 inches taller than my wife, and she's only 12.
Yeah.
Wearing a
It's
size, I
so
think she wears a
crazy.
size 8.5 or 9 in shoes.
Yes, I have huge feet, so she's not catching up to me yet, but she's about to be my mom's size, and she's 9.
Give it a couple years.
Yeah.
Especially once that pubescence comes in, then like my daughter, I think this year alone, I think she's went from like earlier in the year, like, being a little girl, and now she's almost like a full grown woman. I'm like, I don't know what happened in the
Yeah.
last year, but Lord Jesus bless me, this is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, Christopher just started getting our clothes confused in the laundry, and I'm like, this is weird. This is very weird.
Yeah, I don't do the laundry a whole lot, but I usually have to. I'll let Brandy do that, but I know what you mean there.
Yeah.
So adventures, you've done a lot of adventures, and like you said, planning them is very efficiently planning and everything else, with especially how you have to do it with your family and everything else. But I want to know what was in the last year, what was your favorite adventure, and I want to know why.
That's really hard, but I should have foreseen this question. I guess when I went out west the first time boondocking, so I actually went boondocking out west to some of the same exact locations twice last year. But the first time I went with Christopher and Adeline, and it was my first time experiencing those places. So, the first time somewhere almost always is going to be your favorite, most memorables. But we did 11 days out in New Mexico. So last year we did the southern part of New Mexico, but this year we did the northwest part of New Mexico and then a little corner of southeast Utah, so like Moab, and then came around into Colorado and hit like Black Canyon of the Gunnison and Great Sand Dunes, and then Capulan Volcano National Monument, and then back down into Louisiana. And we did that in 11 days, and I think it was 3 states, not including Texas, because we just stopped there to sleep. So 3 states, like I think it was 6 national parks, 6 national monuments. Adeline got over 6 junior ranger badges, I know. But it was great. It was really great. Now,
Not gonna
we
lie,
only
kind of
hiked
jealous right now.
like 15 we only hiked like 15 miles that whole time. So I went the very next month again with friends that had just got off the AT, and we did 28 miles in less days. So it's definitely different kind of trips when you go with your family versus when you go to like hike a little bit harder. But it's great. It really was awesome just seeing all those places for the first time. And Natural Bridges blew me away. And it's a national monument, not a national park. So people always put their focus on like the 63 official parks. But honestly, the more I go to, the more the national monuments, I'm like, that's where it's at. Because there's fewer people. So the parks are always crowded.
Yeah, I like going to places where there's not a lot of people. Yeah, or we just went Garden of the Gods. It was beautiful on the way in, and then you get there and like, just a lot of people.
Yeah.
She's kind of getting fed up with me doing all the video and everything else. I think by the time she's rolling her eyes there at the end, trying. She's like, "Are we about done?"
Yeah, when there's people around, it's not fun. When there's no people, you can kind of have fun with it. But when there's people around, it always makes you feel a little bit odd to try. Because I try to take trail video as much as possible. But yeah, I always, if there's people around, I'm pretty much going to not get the shot because it's, and Arches, you know, I will say that about the trip. The places that I thought were going to be my favorite ended up not because they're just getting to be such well-known spots that that's where the concentration of people is. So, like, we chose maybe one or two medium-level hikes to do every other day when we were on our family vacation so that you don't burn out and nobody gets too tired. Do you still get a whiny kid on trail? Absolutely. But you avoid one that completely shuts down and refuses to do anything. So I picked the hikes very carefully, you know, what are my top priorities mixed with what can, you know, we handle appropriate ability level. But like Delicate Arch was one in Arches. I thought it was going to be just really amazing, and it was beautiful. But the amount of people at the top, I mean, there was legitimately a screaming baby. Someone had a screaming baby at the top. So, like, you know, when it gets like that, it's not the best anymore. But when we went to Natural Bridges, the National Monument, or we went to Barriers National Monument, we actually found this awesome boondocking spot up on this cliff and got some amazing pictures of the Milky Way, some of the best I've ever had. I mean, those spots are incredible. So you can definitely still find the solitude, and those are the free spots. The national parks, you know, you're paying a lot for, but the monuments, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
The BLM land, that's all free. And that's also, people ask me all the time how we're able to do all this. We do not spend a lot when we go on these boondocking adventures. We camp for free almost every single night, you know, and when we don't, it's because we found a deal that's like ridiculous to pass up. Like when we camped outside White Sands National Park, we wanted to go sand sledding, and I think it's like $25 a person to rent a sand sled for the day, but the hotels offered them just complimentary to their guest, and a room was $75. So then we got a room where we could shower, charge all our stuff, and get sandboards all for the same price as we would have paid to just rent sandboards. So, you know, when it's like that, we'll stay in a room, we'll spend a little bit of money. But when we talk about just purely camping, most of the time we're staying somewhere that's free at night. And we're cooking or, you know, eating ramen or some sandwiches and stuff like that. And it's worth it to
Eating out of the
make it
cooler.
happen. Yep.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get to do that more because my youngest is getting to about the right age now. She's just turned 6, so she'll be 7. I'm hoping within the next year or so because I'm wanting to start doing a lot of boondocking and stuff. Now I should have. Well, I want to get one more thing for car camping so we can car camp as an entire family if we don't have like, especially out west, because you ain't got trees. Usually, you don't have trees to hang from. So
Yeah.
you got to have some type of stand. So the next thing on the list would be an iDome. That's what me and Brandy want. We want an iDome.
Oh yeah, those look nice. I've seen those.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
going
we
to be.
use the Hive and the Tensor 4. And now I actually just got a Turtle Bug also. So that's actually kind of Adeline's new stand because they're so easy. You know, they put themselves up,
Mhm.
let them pop out of the bag. You know.
Yeah,
So
that's what
she's
we're.
using that, and we're using the Hive.
Yeah, that's what I'm wanting to do with the iDome. Me and Brandy have the iDome, and then I've got the Turtle Bug as well. So Jazzy will use it. Then I've got the lay flat with its stand that will go to the smaller one. It will go to my littlest one now. And
Well, and you know, also we have our platform built out in the Subaru, and a lot of time, really, Adeline ends up sleeping in the Subaru because the way we built our platform, we built it ourselves. So we designed it to where when she wants to sleep in it by herself, or when I go on solo stuff, we can just set up half of the platform. So a lot of times, like Christopher and I will be set up on the Hive right outside the Subaru, and Adeline will be in the Subaru to sleep. So you could always do something like that too if you can't get everybody on hammocks immediately.
Mhm. So you said out west is pretty much anything that was your favorite. So I want to know what's your least favorite in the last year, and I want to know why it was your least favorite.
Pinhoti, the Pinhoti in September, because I almost died of dehydration.
Please explain.
So I went to Pinhoti Fest. It was my first time. It was my first time on the Pinhoti Trail, and I wanted to do basically what I knew would be a last backpacking trip before my surgeries, just because of how dates and things were working out in the fall. So I went to go out to do a backpacking trip, and Matt was going with me, and he's from Alabama, and he's done the Pinhoti before. So I kind of turned the brain off a little bit and was like, I'm sure he knows whatever we need to know. But neither of us checked the current water situation, and there was a drought, and yeah, we couldn't find water. We hiked and hiked and hiked looking for
Let's say.
water. We were trying to get out of just basically like almost dried up puddles in the middle of the trail. Yeah, we both stopped peeing. I thought I might die. And so we had to get off trail after like 28 miles or something like that. Just because there was no water. And we actually got picked up by Pinhoti Outdoor Center, and we stayed there, and then we ended up doing we got rehydrated, and then we did like an 18-mile day hike to finish up the section we had been planning. But yeah, not a good backpacking trip. And like 2 views the whole trail. I mean, they talk about the AT being the green tunnel, but that
I'll
was a
say
tunnel of
your least
nothing,
favorite
and I had
sounds
no
like
water.
sounds kind of like mine. Not as bad. We didn't run out of water, but I got a buddy. He's in here. I'll bring up some comments here in a minute. But Mr. Rubin, sorry, we did a hike. It's the Knobstone in Indiana. I wanted it to be my first long through hike. It's like I think right around 50 miles, maybe 56. I can't remember the exact number. Ruben, you know exactly what it is in the comments there because we done quite a bit of it. I think we hit 25 miles. We did 25 miles of it, and it was first thought was great. I mean, we got in late in the afternoon. It was going to be hot all weekend, but the Knobstone, you got to basically stash water everywhere because there's no water on the trail at all.
I got you.
And let's just say that I think we put 2 gallons at each place where we stashed. Now I think it was every like 9 to 10 miles, something like that. Well, the first day wasn't bad. We got through hiked through the night until about midnight, and stopped, and we were able to have water there. I think because we stashed water right there where we camped at, so that was fine. So the next day, I think we get another 10 miles, and I'm gonna say it was the roughest probably 10, 12 miles that I've ever done in my life. I think it got up, I want to say right around 100 degrees when we was out there.
Yeah, it was
And
super hot for us too. That was, that's the
and we
other
just
thing.
couldn't drink enough water to keep it in us. And Billy's like, yeah, there's no way we're going to. So that's on the list this year. It's going to get knocked out again. I'm going to say, not this time. I'm going to do it before it gets 110 degrees, hopefully,
Yeah.
or wait until it cools off. But that's one I'm wanting to knock out. And then the foothills is on my list this year. I'm going to knock it out. My goal is I'm going to take 5 days, but I want to knock it out in 4. That's my goal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's doable. That's definitely doable.
Yeah. You're not the first person that told me I was crazy. So,
Oh, no, I don't think that's no, I think that's pretty reasonable, but people tell me I'm crazy all the time. So,
yeah, I know. I mean, it don't bother me to do 20 miles in a day. I mean,
yeah, no, I mean that's you definitely got to look at the elevation. For sure got to look at the elevation. But I mean, yeah, I'm pretty much the same at this point. I try not to say that too casually because people think it's braggy. I'm not trying to be braggy. I've been working a long time to get to this point. Well, and I'm not there right now because I got a busted hip. So, but that's where I was.
let's say I already know you was killing it. You did a marathon not too long ago, actually.
Yeah, I did an ultra. So I did a 50K, ended up at like 33, 34 miles total. The weekend before my surgery. So that was in February.
Yeah, I'm not that crazy, so we'll just leave it at that.
I'm really looking forward to doing 100 and 200 milers after I'm done with rehab and everything.
Yeah, I'm looking at like, maybe trying to do, a 13 miler like trail run eventually. I wouldn't mind doing because I think that's a half marathon, 13 miler.
Yeah.
I think they do one. Actually, I know they do one every year down there in the Fiery Gizzard because Jeremiah Stringer, when he planned our trip, we was there during the marathon, and that's all we seen was marathon runners all day. And here we are with our backpacking gear saying, sorry, let us get out of the way.
Yes.
It was nice though, because we passed by the aid station and we got hooked up, not gonna lie, because all the runners had passed for the day. So he's sitting here with candy and Gatorade and pop, and it's like all the stuff, and you're like, okay, I mean, if you're just gonna, we'll take some.
The aid stations are the best at trail runs for sure. That's the best.
Yeah, it definitely made our day. And then I was trying to tell the guys, but they wanted to keep doing it. So Fiery Gizzard, there's 2 routes. They got the upper route and the lower route. Well, the lower route's a lot slower. It's right along the river, and it's basically your river rock skipping the entire way and hoping one don't move out from underneath of you, which they don't. That's why they tell you that you're not supposed to hike during the night there at all. I mean, we've hiked there, early into the night at dusk. We've never hiked in the dark, but
yeah.
I mean, it's one of them type of areas. But I mean, sorry, my mind went blank there for a second. Anyways, we'll go back to Ruben here. He brought up, he said Moonlight is intriguing. They didn't recommend it for his 200 pounds at Dream Hammock, and he ended up going with Mountain Material.
Yeah, and the Mountain Material is actually the other fabric that Matt uses at Mountain Made Gear for the other hammocks in his line. And I mean, he's got his so the Monolite is the Trekker Ultralight, and it's coming in at 10.3. But the next step up is Mountain Fabric, and it's much stronger, and it's coming in at 13.5, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it's 13.5.
That's nothing.
So, yeah, that's still, you're talking about 3 ounces if you're worried about the Monolite, because I know it makes a lot of people nervous, and it definitely does have a weight limit. I mean, there definitely is. So, but that Mountain Fabric for 13.5, I mean, that's the bug net and everything. So.
Yeah, that's lighter than what I'm carrying. I already know that.
Yeah. I got my base weight down. I think I'm at like 11 pounds right now.
I think I'm at maybe 15, 16. I'm going to keep that because
That's
Because
very good though.
I'm bringing my chair and table. I'm not giving it up. So
Yeah. I'm a Graham weenie, hardcore.
I'm bringing the comfort stuff, but I'm definitely trying to stay below 20.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Because
if I'm over 20,
I'm frameless now. My max, I'm 25 is my max. Whenever I'm out, is like that's my max. I'm not going over that at all. That's
yeah.
with food,
No.
and I'm carrying water.
Yeah. No, if I'm over 20 with food and water, like something's wrong. We got to we got to change something. We got to figure something out.
Yeah, I
But
could probably go.
I got like this because of my hips. And that's actually how I found out I had hip dysplasia. I started backpacking, and my first section hike out on the AT, I had a huge 45-pound Osprey pack, and I'd been told 10, 12 years before that I had fibromyalgia. So most pain I experience, you know, I attribute to that. But when I was on this section hike, especially on any kind of elevation gain, it felt specifically in my hips, just almost like the joint was going to burst forward through the skin. And so that led me to kind of say, I wonder if there's something going on a little bit more with my hips at least. And so I went back to a doctor for the first time since the fibromyalgia diagnosis. And they finally were like, I think you have hip dysplasia. And they had to send me to a pediatric orthopedist because this is something that should be diagnosed and corrected when you're a child. And he confirmed, I had the hip dysplasia. So I've been putting off for several years actually having the surgeries done. So to be able to put it off, I had to cut my gear weight. I had to get my pack light to be able to do it at
So say,
all.
how in the world was you doing all that with?
Yeah, well, I'm
You're lucky you didn't
gray
hurt. I'm gonna say
and
you're lucky you didn't hurt
stubbornness and
yourself any
hard-headedness.
worse.
Oh, I got an MRI right before my surgery. I do have a slight labrum tear. Um, it could have been caused by the things I've been doing. You could have it just because I have hip dysplasia and it puts extra stress on the labrum. But it is so like minute that he thinks it's actually going to heal itself since the hip dysplasia is fixed
Mhm.
and isn't going to put the added stress on it anymore. So yeah, I actually did a talk for one of the local hiking groups here a couple months ago, and I said I'm going to have surgery, and someone asked if I did this to myself, and I said I was born this
Uh,
way.
no, it was born this way, and I just kind of figured out, through
Yeah,
pain and the doctor that
yeah,
that I may have aggravated it a little worse,
yeah.
but no,
We
I
can
did
say
not. I did
that.
not make it that way.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Joe Loop here, I'm gonna see him in a couple weeks, but he posted on here. Have you ever been to PA to backpack?
No, I've never been to Pennsylvania at all. So I did jump up and do 50 miles in Vermont. On the AT, I actually was the long trail, but the long trail and the Appalachian Trail share the trail for 100 miles in Vermont.
Yeah.
I was attempting a long trail through hike last summer. I stayed on trail 5 days. That's when I realized I needed to go ahead with the surgery because you can only be hard headed for so long. But anyway, that's the closest I have been to hiking in Pennsylvania.
I've been up there for a couple of hammock hangs and Mahal and all that. Man, I actually hiked a little bit of the AT. That's where I hiked a little bit of the AT at was up there, and that's probably some of the nicest shelters I've ever seen. I mean, there were some nice shelters, and they had some nice platforms for hammock for not hammock, but for tents and stuff.
Yeah, I was looking forward to the long trail from the research I did. Like I said, I only stayed on trail 5 days, but from the research I did, they look like they have awesome shelters up there. Which, I mean, I've seen some good shelters on the miles I've done so far. I've done the first 249 from Springer northbound. And I mean, I've definitely seen some cool shelters. I try to avoid the shelters, honestly, so I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
get
want to
too
deal with
much of a
people.
note, but no.
I'd prefer to sleep in my own hammock where it's nice and comfy and quiet and not someone
Yep.
sitting there snoring or doing whatever right beside me.
Yep. Used the shelters all through the Smokies because it's required. And that, I mean, it was one of my favorite hikes, but it also is one of the hikes that I least enjoyed because I was forced to sleep in the shelter. I didn't even bring my hammock with me because it's not allowed, especially for section hikers. Through hikers might be able to get away with it if
Where's this at?
the Smokies. When you go through Great Smoky Mountain National Park,
Mm-hmm.
section hikers, which I am, have to get a permit to go through, and you actually have to pick exactly which shelter you're going to be at each night of your hike. Through hikers, when they go through, which to be classified as a through hiker by the Smokies, you have to start 100 miles outside and end 100 miles outside. So they can get to a shelter, and if it's full, they can use their tent or their hammock or whatever. But section hikers, you got to be in that shelter.
Yeah, I'm good.
So
Nope, not going to do it.
I've been told by a ton of people that no one checks and to just do what you want, but I get severe anxiety about breaking rules and getting
I'm gonna say
caught by
meet.
authority. I don't want to give authority any reason to look at me. So I just do exactly what I'm supposed to do in those situations. When I went through the Smokies, like I said, you have to get that permit for the exact shelter you're going to be at on the exact date you're going to be there. And when I hiked I resupplied at Newfound Gap with a friend who had a truck there. And when I hiked out of there, I did more miles than I was planning to because so many people had said, no one ever checks. There's no one out there. It doesn't matter. And I'd been in the Smokies for 4 days at that point, 3 days, 4 days at that point, and I hadn't seen anyone either. So I was starting to think, there's no one out here. They're not going to check. Ridge runner at the shelter that I end up at checking permits. A ridge runner checking permits. I about had a panic attack. I thankfully had signal, well, just enough signal to get text to go through, but not enough to get online myself. I texted Christopher, please buy me another permit for this shelter and this night so that when she asks me, I can show her that I have one. And I put my earphones in and hid in my sleeping bag at 5:30, pretended to be asleep so this ridge runner wouldn't come ask me if I had a permit or not. It was so ridiculous. And I ended up being able to sneak out of there the next morning and never got asked for anything.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience yet. That's what I don't like about Tennessee. I don't like having, like you said, I don't like having to book a campsite. That's not my type.
No.
I like to be able to just show up and you know what, I'm allowed to camp here because it's dispersed camping, so I can camp wherever I want.
That's exactly how I am. That's what first drew me to the AT was the freedom of it, being able to carry everything you need on your back and stop when you get ready to stop, when you feel like stopping. And but I'm trying to do every single mile, actually from Key West to Nova Scotia is the goal, but at least from Springer to Katahdin, and so got to get through the Smokies at least once.
So once again, jealous.
I can't say, well, it's a goal. Doesn't mean it'll happen. I might be 85,
I'm
dragging
gonna say I'm
myself.
going to stay in shape until I'm retired, so that way I can do it.
Yeah.
Either that or quit my job, one of the two.
I mean,
hopefully my boss isn't in here hearing me say that.
I get told that I'm irresponsible.
I've been told somewhat like that before from let me guess, is that from your significant other?
No, actually.
Really?
No, never. No, I do not get told that by him. He's the only one that's always
actually, she'd probably be a supporter.
Let's go. Yeah. No, it's mostly just.
I mean, if she come to me and said, "Hey, I want to be a travel nurse. Let's start homeschooling the kids, and I want to do some travel," I'd be like, hey, let's do it. I'll quit my job and I'll definitely just homeschool the kids.
Yeah, that's definitely what we wish we could do. Unfortunately, there's not really any such thing as a traveling chemical operator.
He's got a job like me. I mean, I can probably do remote like remote work, but that's about it. I don't have it traveling.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
there's
yeah, I
not
would.
a lot of places with chemical plants even, because you definitely can go turnaround
Mhm.
to turnaround, but you're still limited geographically. There's not chemical plants everywhere, and turnaround work is really risky, obviously.
Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm caught up on the chat here. Making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so going back here, hammocks. What got you into a hammock? Why hammocks?
Um, I was day hiking and like just got into day hiking, and Christopher gets me random things in my stocking just that he thinks I might like, and he picked up like a wise owl hammock setup for no good reason really, and threw it in my stocking for Christmas. And after I got that, I was like, oh, where can I use this, and how do you camp in a hammock? And I did a deep dive on YouTube, and that's actually when I found the Appalachian Trail, and that's when I found out backpacking existed, and that's when I met Barry, or Cajun, because I could not figure out how to hang that dang wise owl for nothing. Couldn't figure out how to work it, and I had watched YouTube. I had seen Shug, and Shug. I mean, if I was a little bit, inclined to camping and anything at all, Shug could have helped me. But I just was kind of a lost cause. I needed somebody in person to show me. And I got on Facebook complaining that there was no one in Louisiana that camps in a hammock. And Barry happened to be visiting his mom at home. He's from Louisiana. And he met up with me at a state park and showed me how to use my hammock, my cheap Amazon Wise Owl hammock.
And then that's when he was like, but and then he set the other one up, his up right there beside you, and was like, this is what you could get into.
Yes, he did. Actually, he sold me some quilts like a month later.
Yep, that sounds about right. Mr. Corey there said it best. Shug Strong. We're gonna put that out right here,
Yes,
right now, for our buddy
yes,
Shug. He's fighting a pretty good fight right now. Last I seen his update, he looked a lot better. It seemed like he was doing good.
yes, yeah. I watched the update, and I mean, it seemed positive. And I actually tried to get in a hammock the other day for the first time since surgery, so I could take my hashtag Shug Strong picture, and I couldn't do it. I kind of got in there for a second and immediately started feeling my hip throb, and I had to get out quickly. So, but as soon as I can get in a hammock, I will join the Shug Strong movement,
So you
because
ain't too
yeah,
far off. Just give it a few
no,
more weeks.
yeah, I really actually was talking to Matt today. He might try to do another Mountain Made Gear hang the last weekend of April, like before I have my second surgery. So I think I might. I think I'm very close to getting in a hammock. I think I might could possibly handle a hang at the end of the month, but we'll see.
End of the month, huh? Where's he planning on
I
having that at?
I mean, probably. Well, he said actually probably try to do it somewhere near here so that I don't have to go very far. Because also riding in the car for
Ooh,
long periods is a
I
little bit
haven't done
difficult
anything
too.
in Louisiana.
So, hey, well, at the very least, you can come to my what I'm calling the Ren Fair hang. I've actually had it kind of unofficially the last two Novembers, but I work at the Ren Fair at our local Ren Fair once a year as a beer wench, and I have a lot of fun with it. But anyway, a bunch of people have come, and this year we were in my backyard. Last year we were at the actual fairgrounds. But this coming year, hopefully, we'll be back at the fairgrounds again. But it'll be probably the last weekend of November. But I'll let you know when we got the dates for sure. But it's fun, and you can dress up, and we go to the Ren Fair all day on Saturday.
I could
Get
definitely
in your
get down for that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Mr. Mike said, "Don't forget about him on that hang."
Oh, he's on the list. He's on the list. We
So
got a list going of people so I am competitive to a terrible fault, unfortunately, and I don't feel accomplished unless I do everything fast. And so we have a list going of people who want to hike with me before I'm completely rehabbed because I'll be forced to go slow.
Oh man,
So,
I'm guessing Mike is one of them.
yes, Mike is on the list. Mike's on the list.
Oh, we got Barry. Actually, Mr. Barry's in here. He says April 24th through the 26th is I'm actually probably going to be going to that, maybe the crawfish hang.
That's so far, though.
Let's say that's so far. I don't know. Actually, it's probably about the same for Louisiana for me. I'm not going to lie.
It's 10 hours for me to the crawfish hang.
I'd say it's probably 9 to 10 hours for me, and I think that's the same as going to Louisiana for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting to starting to be hang season now again.
My second surgery is May 8th, so we were trying. So it's not the 24th through the 27th we were looking at. I think it was the weekend after that. Is that technically the first weekend of May? I'm not sure.
Yes, that would be the
that
that would be like the end of that'd be the end of April, early May.
Okay, yeah.
I think so. Sorry about it. Well, probably a good time to start these would you rather questions, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I think.
We'll start with I would say it's an easy one because I like my candy when I'm at camp, so it'd be an easy answer for me on this one. So, would you rather have a fanny pack with limitless chocolate or never need a water filter again?
This is a hard question for me because I don't want either of those things. I struggled terribly to eat on trail, and chocolate is the last thing I ever want. So being forced to carry a fanny pack full of chocolate for a gram weenie would be like my worst nightmare. So I don't want that to happen. But I also find filtering my water to just be so peaceful. So I don't want that to be taken away. But if it comes with the assurance that I'll never have to go looking for water and fighting through briars onto private property and trying to climb down into streams, then I'll take that one.
Okay.
So I guess I'll go with no filtering water, even though I kind of like it.
Yeah, you're crazier than me. I'll take that. I carry a fanny pack, so look at the size of my fanny pack. I like Yeah, it carries all of my goodies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm that guy on trail. I'm still going to get that. I'll get my miles in. I may not get them as fast as some people, but I'll get them in. I'm just going to stop and take breaks. I'll be there at dark, maybe a little bit after. You beat me at camp. That just means you get to make the fire.
The only reason I have to go fast is because I don't like to get out of my hammock before 11 a.m. And people are stopping for lunch where I have camped over the night.
I'm the person that's getting up and I'm eating breakfast. I'm the person that's sitting there making, like me and Brandy when we went, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm the person that I'm the person I gotta have my coffee and a small breakfast, like something small when I get up in the morning. And I'm like I said, it's hard for me to, usually I'm not on trail till about 8 or 9 at the soonest. But I'm like you, I usually don't want to get out of my hammock until after 8. So
no, I will not. I do not like to get out of my hammock. I'm always so comfortable in there. And just
But
listening to the birds and watching the squirrels jump
mhm,
around and
yep.
just cozy.
Yeah, as I've gotten more and more, I guess I've gotten better over the time getting at hanging it. I've gotten to where, yeah, it's just harder and harder to get out of it. Now, seems like some people here agreed with you. They said yeah, water filter. That's their answer. So I guess I'm different. I like my sweets. Like I said, I'm a hiker trash. I like the sweets when I'm on trail. I like the
I'm struggling. I wish I did. Like really, the getting into the trail races, the most difficult thing has been trying to figure out something that I will eat.
eat.
And so many people they're just like smashing candy, you know,
Yep.
and that makes me want to throw up. I just
Yeah,
can't
me
do
and
it. I
Ruben
don't want
actually,
like
whenever we
apple
got
slices and stuff.
See, me and Ruben, when we got to where we had to finally stop on the Knobstone, actually, candy, that's what kind of saved us there. We kind of bottomed out, and I luckily had a bag of Sour Patch Kids on me there, like either Sour Patch Kids or it's going to be the Airheads Bites. That's when I'm on trail, I love
Yep,
them.
yep, yep. I will say the one candy that I do sometimes carry is an Airhead. I don't do the bites, I just do the sticks, but
Yeah, the
that's
Airheads
the
the
one.
bites are dangerous. They're like little, almost like a tiny spree. And I
Yeah,
just turn them up. I just grab a handful and just throw them in. I'm that
yeah.
crazy man that I don't mind mixing the colors one bit. Get a new flavor every time you bite into it. Okay, we'll go with our second question here. Would you rather be followed by a skunk that never sprays or chased by a tiny, very angry duck?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out this one seems so easy because I would love a skunk to follow me around, and the only downfall to that would be the fear of being sprayed. So if I'm guaranteed that it's not gonna spray me, that's just like a dream come true. Like, you know, I feel like a witch. Like looking for her familiar, and I haven't found it yet. I'm just waiting to find like an abandoned like baby possum that needs me to like take it home and nurse it back to health,
Mm-hmm.
and it can just kind of like go with me on my shoulder places.
Mr. Corey, he agrees. Yep, pet skunk. I'm
Mm,
not gonna lie. I mean, I've always had a affinity to have like a pet ferret, and I just kind of wonder if a skunk would be even cooler.
yeah,
And I think
and
I've
then
heard of people actually having them as pets and like removing like their glands so they can't spray. So I mean, so they have to be
I
kind of
know
a
you can do
cool
that with
pet.
ferrets. You can do that with ferrets for sure.
So
Yeah, skunks maybe.
I mean,
And then you can blame any weird smells on your pet skunk. You can just be like, I don't know what that smell is. It must be my pet skunk. I'm
that
not
a hole
sure.
did the a hole did it again.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, Ruben says they make good pets. He said,
I bet they do. I bet they're like
"Oh, he
cats.
did say he said skunks are like ferrets. They are awesome." Okay, I mean that's the answer. I'd hope that everybody would agree there that the skunk is much better than a tiny quacking little.
Oh,
I'm
I
not gonna lie. I'd
probably
probably
not
have
so
to punt
much.
it across the tree, wherever, punt it across the lake, whatever. I don't know.
A
That's
small repetitive sound couldn't do it. No.
oh, yep.
No.
Okay, so we'll go to our third question here, and it's: would you rather hike 10 miles and find an amazing waterfall, or 2 miles and find an awesome rock formation?
Definitely 10 miles with a waterfall. Again, super easy because I have found the further you hike, the less people there are, and that's always the better place.
I'm going to agree. The miles is something I don't really care about anymore, and like you said, the further you go, usually it's like the less people you're going to see, and I've seen some pretty amazing things the further you get away. So
Yeah. If I do 2 miles, I'll feel like I didn't do anything with my day. Like
yeah, that
I'll
feels
be mad. I'll beat myself up when I get to camp and say, that I was lazy. So, I, 10, even at 10 miles, I honestly would do that. So, I would need the awesome waterfall to be the excuse I had for stopping at 10 miles.
it's my answer right there too. Oh, Mr. Rubin said 12 miles to see both. I mean,
Yes.
that wasn't the
No, that
answer.
sounds
I
good.
mean, but that sounds great. I'll take that,
Yeah.
buddy. I mean, that is
That's the right answer.
100%. I would do 12 miles to see both. Not gonna lie, I'm that kind of crazy. So, yeah, I mean, that's 12 miles is a good start to a day for someone like you. That's about, well, like I said, the max that I've done is right around 16 to 17 in a day, and I didn't feel bad. I ain't gonna lie. I do have to when I get over 12 miles, I have to take when I go to bed. I have to take me some ibuprofen with aspirin,
Yeah.
or my knees and my ankles are swelling up.
That's just vitamin I. That's no big deal. That's normal.
So
We're all the cool kids do it. It's cool. It's fine.
vitamin I like that right there too. Well, Miss Brianna, I want to thank you for getting on here with me and talking things. I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you whenever I want to head out west with the family, because like you said,
Yes.
there's a lot of you ain't got to spend a lot to see something that's amazing.
No,
And some of the best things that is free, some of the best ones that are free is the best, like where you get to see the best stuff.
Yes, that absolutely is for sure. And out west, it's very easy. Like, I'll agree, in the east, it's a little bit more difficult to find those like truly free spots, but they are abundant in the west, and they're easy to find. So it's worth it. It's worth doing a little bit of research into it to see some awesome places and save a lot of money.
You should definitely be doing a blog with this stuff on there. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I mean, I definitely probably read it and just go throw it out there.
I know.
I mean,
I try to keep the Facebook going, and I did recently actually convert my page to be purely an adventure page. I'm going to start a separate personal page. So that's why my Facebook name changed from Brianna Castleberry to Brianna Ramblin' on Trail. And I got the Instagram started, and I got the TikTok started. I almost said Tic Tac like a boomer. And I have my YouTube. It's made. The channel's made. It doesn't have any videos yet. I hope to do it soon. But yeah, a separate like actual blog website that you could easily search for location is definitely in the brain. Just got to make it happen.
Yeah, and then you just need a link tree with all this stuff in it.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I want to thank you for getting on here again. You can go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, and guys, I'm pretty sure she may answer a message if you send her a message on a trip and she's been there before. So
Yeah,
I mean, I totally would if I've been there before. I like giving people the insight. It's what I like doing.
Don't be
That's what I like.
offended if it takes me a few days, but I'll definitely get back to you.
I'm gonna say you're very busy, especially you got a 9-year-old. I know how it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm just Rambling on Trail, Brianna Rambling on Trail, and that's all the same on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and it is on YouTube already. Like I said, it's videoless.
to be continued.
Yes.
I'm gonna say you got plenty of time. You probably got plenty of content to make a video.
Oh, the content, yeah, that is not the issue. I have content from the past 3 years, I think. Actually, it is kind of funny. One of my first videos will probably be me making fun of my very first gear loadout, what I was planning to bring with me on my very first section hike, because it is comical. It is comical to look back at where you started and what the things that you think you need.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I mean, I could definitely look back on some of the stuff that I had, and I'm like, well, don't know why I really needed that, but I guess
Yeah.
I seen it somewhere on YouTube, and that person had it, so definitely thought I needed it too.
Or you just like think that, my very first hike, I had a full-size machete strapped to my side.
I carried an axe with a saw in it.
Yeah,
I think it was like 4 or 5 pounds.
yeah, it happens. It happens, but we got through it.
Yeah, I
Look how far
learned.
we've come.
I learned real quick that that I wanted to get, like you said, as light as possible, because
Yeah,
I like the miles. Like the more miles you do, the more you get to see. I mean, that's
Yes.
what it's all about for me.
Exactly.
But
I know I'm never going to have enough time to see all the places I want to see. So I need to be able to, kind of get through them at a bit of a quicker pace, I guess.
yep, mine is my schedule. I can't really, I have to, like I said, work. I work at a school, and then I don't get summers off. I'm not a teacher, so I get regular time off. I try to schedule my stuff where, holidays fall and I can get like a longer trip without having to use as many
Yeah.
vacation days. Then I'm like, well, I've got to get 20 miles a day. I know that because it's 80 miles and I'm only taking 4 days.
Yep. That's a good motivator right there. If you know you got a certain amount of days, you make it work. You make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you're done, I mean, some people say you're crazy, but I'm like, I feel accomplished. I mean, it's what I wanted to
Oh,
do.
yeah. That's why I do it.
But I want to thank you for getting on here and talking with us and telling us about your adventures and everything else. I mean, I know I'm going to be seeing you in the next few months anyways, because we're always
Yeah.
somewhere at a hang together. Seems like the more hangs I go to, the more and more I get to see everyone that goes to the hangs.
Yes. I'm a little housebound, but I mean, hopefully, I guess the second surgery's May 8th, so that.
Well, so you'll be ready by the fall time.
Maybe so. I hope so. At least for a car camp group
Yeah,
hang.
yeah, that'd be a good one. Good fall time hang.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to, like I said, I want to thank you for getting on here again. Guys, I want to thank everyone out there for joining in, being in the chat, enjoying the show. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I've met Brianna. We've talked a little bit before, but I've gotten a lot more insight from her today than I ever have before. So it's what I like about doing this. I like getting friends that fellow adventurers. I'm going to say friends because everyone that I've met's friends. And like I said, tramley now because that's what they are. And
I have your
in this
shoes.
community,
We're friends. Right? Yeah. Like if you have somebody's shoes, you're friends, I think.
I guess. Yep.
You bought me a really great birthday present. We're friends.
Okay. I'll take that. But guys, I want to thank everybody out there and I want to thank her again. And I'm going to end that with you adventurers. Y'all just keep on adventuring. Y'all take it easy.